Good evening, Facebook and YouTube. Um, just to kind of start off, the main reason why I'm kind of doing this video is just to kind of give some insights into the martial arts that I've trained, and also I've been asked this question on a number of occasions, and I've been asked it quite recently as well. What martial arts have you trained, and what what do you teach? So, kind of talking about, let's say, some of my teachers. My first kung fu teacher was Sifu PJ Bennis. PJ Bennis was a well-known martial arts instructor within the Limerick area, and under PJ I studied Shaolin Changchuan, which is long fist kung fu, and also studied Eskrima and Thai boxing, and to a lesser extent some boxing and kickboxing skills with PJ as well. The one thing I will say about Master Bennis is he was a very good all-rounder. He had a very good concrete understanding of what worked and what didn't work, and what didn't work in certain situations, etc. So he was a very competent, extremely competent overall martial artist, and he had a vast repertoire of knowledge to draw from. My second teacher, who I would have studied with for about roughly 9 months, would have been Master Wong Wei Yue. I studied with Master Wong in Nantes for a period of 9 months when I was doing Erasmus in France, when I was roughly, 20 years of age. And with Master Wong, I studied Xing Yi Chuan, which is 5-element Kung Fu Bagwang, which is the 8-diagram Palm, and also Shaolin Tant, which is a form of long fist boxing as well. So that was quite an interesting experience, and kind of gave quite a number of different ideas to me, and other ways at looking at Chinese martial arts, and it really built upon some of the experiences that I had with Master Bennis as well, for that time period. During that time period in France as well, I also got to visit, to a lesser extent, Master Wong Tung Ken. I only attended roughly 4 classes with Master Wong Tung Ken, but he also was an internal martial arts expert as well. And while I wouldn't credit, that I took away a lot, from the classes, it did give me an insight into what the power of internal martial arts and structure was, and that also led me to, upon my return to Ireland, to recommence studying, internal martial arts. And I began the study of Chen Tai Chi Chuan with Nick Gudge. And I studied with Nick for roughly 2 years, learning the fundamentals of the Chen style of Tai Chi Chuan, and also at the same time training with Master PJ Bennis. After that, I would say, and during that time period training with Master Bennis, I was both training Eskrima and Kung Fu and the Chinese weapons, as well as training Tai Chi Chuan with Master Nick Gudge. I then had the opportunity to cross train and share some ideas with a young student who was spending time in UL, Wong Yu. And as far as I recollect, during that time period, he was an exchange student in UL, and during that period of time, I cross trained with him. I learned the fundamentals of Wing Chun, particularly a style from Fat Chan, studying a couple of the basic forms, and also the Jukwan Hyun, which is the rattan ring. And that was quite a good exposure to Wing Chun. he was an excellent, let's say, like a training partner, and we shared like quite a lot of ideas and cross trained like ideas like with each other. I showed him a lot of the joint locking and kind of counter joint locking methods that I'd learned like from Master Wong Wei Yue, as well as Master PJ Bennis, as well as some of the kind of the cross training ideas like mixing kung fu, tai chi chuan as well. So that was like a very good experience and introduction to Wing Chun. Thereafter, due to kind of like work related like issues, as well as not being able to like to continue, let's say, my training with Master Bennis, due to kind of work, university scheduling issues, I began studying Seni Silat Gayong with Master Anwar Ahmed, and Master Anwar Ahmed is one of the teachers that really opened up my eyes as regards like the power of Silat, the simplicity of Silat, the angulation, the setting up of, let's say, like bone breaks, limb destructions, all this type of, let's say, like material. Very simple, very effective, straightforward like material. But as regards this like Silat compared like to the Chinese martial arts, all I can kind of really say is like from my own, let's say, like perspective, and what I've garnered like from my study with Master Anwar Ahmed, was the angulation and the kind of the shift in the body. The smallest like shifts like could actually like bring about like some of the most devastating effects. And really, Master Anwar Ahmed like shared like quite a lot of information with me and a number of the other students who were studying at the time, some of the anatomical effects, how to actually like damage like the body like in a very clear, short, and relatively dangerous manner as well. I'd also like to credit, let's say, like studying like during this time period as well. I got to meet and befriend Master or Sensei or Sifu Brian Maloney. Brian, a wonderful person, a mentor, a friend, an excellent martial arts teacher. And with Master Brian Maloney, I really would say that I've gotten, let's say, like quite a broad exposure like to some of the ideas that he's actually shared. Master Brian Maloney would have also been a previous student of Master PJ Bennis, along with having studied Shaolin Changchuan. Brian Maloney would have also studied a number of the Japanese systems of Bujitsu, and also alternative, let's say, Chinese martial arts styles such as Wuzhu Chuan or Shaolin No Cho. Master Brian Maloney would have also, let's say, studied Kobudo, Goshin Jutsu, and a number of other self-defense methods with Sensei Mike Finn, who's probably one of the most qualified Japanese Kobudo and Bujitsu experts within the British Isles. And it was great training like with Brian, and I continue to train with Brian when the opportunity arises. The vast like knowledge like that he actually has, as well as the overall understanding like of weapons. I can't, let's just like say that there's an equal within, let's say, the region of, let's say, Munster or elsewhere, as regards his actual comprehension of sword, staff, and other weapons, such as the tonfa, sai, nunchaku, etc. He really has a wealth of information to share for those who actually wish to study with him. Not to mention some of the systems which he has studied, which are quite rare, such as the study of like Shindomusu, Ryu, Jo, and some of the Japanese systems involving the drawing of the blade, and also the Japanese sword art, Katori Shinto Ryu as well. which is a very highly esteemed Japanese sword art. As regards my exposure, let's say like go to the Filipino martial arts, and it's one of the areas I've studied in depth over the last couple of years, and kind of put a lot of emphasis upon. Would have been primarily, let's say, the training that I would have had, let's say, with Master PJ Bennis, but also my training with Guru Miso Sirkon. Miso is a formidable jiu-jitsu player, as well as a qualified instructor in Bahadzubu Kali, and Bahadzubu Kali is a synthesis of a number of Filipino martial art styles, for example, Palacante Balante, as well as the Eskrima system Repigada Pigada, but overall, the system, let's say, like, draws heavily upon the teachings of Grandmaster Antonio Lestrissimo. So you will see quite a lot of the actual techniques that are present within the Bahad system, Bahadzubu Kali, and this style has evolved over a period of time in a number of different ways and means, and it continues to evolve, but quite a lot of the nucleus, the actual fundamentals of the art are based upon Illustrissimo Kali, which is a sword-based art. The type of weapons that are used within the art vary, like from the stick to the sword. So some swords like the Sansibar, as well as the Barong, and some of the shorter knives. It also focuses on quite a lot of the aspects of Filipino martial arts, so it is quite complete. You have from the single baston to the doble baston, which is double stick, to the espada y daga or baston y daga, so that's stick and dagger or sword and dagger, to let's say a doble daga, let's say doble espada, as well as the staff, let's say fighting, or the larger Olisi, which can be in length of between 36 to 40 centimeters, which is almost kind of equivalent, let's say, to a two-handed sword. So there's quite a lot of variety within that particular system as well, and I'm deeply appreciative of the times and the trainings that I had with Guru Miso Sirkon, as well as Hassan Guru, Yanis Mortuzens as well. So I really do appreciate the time spent learning that particular art, and the techniques and the different ways of looking at live combat with both a blade and a stick, and also learning how to defend to the best of your abilities, an edged weapon or an impact weapon if you are empty hand, as well. So currently, as regards my own, let's say, focus at the moment, I teach a mix of a number of different methods, depending on, let's say, what people, let's say, would be interested in learning. At the moment, over the last couple of months, I've been sharing a number of the ideas from Chinese martial arts, Kung Fu, through the kind of the lens of, let's say, Baguazhang, which is the 8 diagram palm, and also some ideas from Xing Yi Chuan as well. I'd also share ideas which are, I would hope, let's say, that show a person, let's say, how to defend themselves within a relatively short period of time, but I would also focus with the students upon refinement of your skills as well. So that overall just kind of gives an idea of some of the martial arts that I've trained and I currently teach at the moment. And if you do want to get in contact, you can get in contact through our Facebook page or our YouTube page as well. Thanks very much for listening.